Welcome, everybody, to another edition of the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Podcast. My name is Ross Benjamin. It is Monday, June 17th, and we're talking Game 5 of the NBA playoffs today with a red hot, a sizzling hot. Don't even touch the guy right now. You're going to be seized and go to the hospital with fifth-degree burns. Mr. Chip Chirimbes of GamblersWorld.net, which is our sponsor site. And Chip, how are you?
Well, I'm great like this. A week ago, I would tell you how streaky we are in this game of baseball. And, coming off a weekend, which was horrible last weekend or previous weekend, now 15-1 the last 6 days, Ross, with 3-3-0 sweeps. And in the NBA, it just keeps rolling. We hit our megabucks again. That's 4 in a row, 28-10 on the NBA playoffs. I mean, I hate to see the playoffs end, but we'll see what happens tonight. And, of course, baseball just keeps rolling along, and that is our favorite.
All right, so there you have it, 15-1 with his last 16 Major League Baseball selections, folks. GamblersWorld.net. You know what's great about there? You can go to Chip. You can buy his Major League Baseball pick or package tonight, and he still guarantees, our site will still guarantee that if he doesn't win, he doesn't make a profit, we're going to credit your account back the exact amount that you paid. How easy is that?
Yeah.
I mean, what a deal is that? It's not a sign of weakness. The guy's 15-1. We just know that if you lose tonight, that he's going to make you a profit over the long run. Now, me, I'm coming off the worst weekend I've had, or the worst 2-day stretch I've had in 5 months. I beat on my chest when I'm winning, and I'm transparent when I lose. That's the difference between us at this site and a lot of other sports betting videos that you'll watch across YouTube and elsewhere. We tell it like it is. I went 0-5 over the weekend in Major League Baseball. Terrible. But tonight, I got a 5-unit top play in the NBA. And you know what I've done in the NBA playoffs, Chip, since 2022?
Yep.
I've gone 117-73, which is good for 62%, and 40-25 this year alone. So you don't want to miss my NBA 5-unit top play winning side tonight between the Boston Celtics and the Dallas Mavericks in Game 5 of that NBA Finals Series. All right, Chipper, today is Monday the 17th.
It is.
What the hell happened today in the world of sports?
Well, we're doing baseball, and I usually like to stay in the sport we're dealing with. And primarily, there's only 2 big events, I'd say, in baseball, but there is some other things I'd like to talk about, Ross, because
Sure.
it's pretty entertaining. In 1960, Ted Williams hit his 500th career home run. He ended up with, I think it was 511. And on this day in 1962, the expansion Mets gave up a pitch to a guy by the name of Lou Brock. You remember this skinny little left-hander for the St. Louis Cardinals? Lou Brock hit a ball into the center field bleachers at the Polo Grounds, only the second player ever to do that, 486 feet away from home plate. It was later done the following year by a guy by the name of Dave Kingman. But it's an amazing feat for a guy his size to hit a ball over the screen in center field in the Polo Grounds. But I have more for you. Has to do not necessarily with baseball, but with Yankee Stadium. And this day in 1954, you ever hear a guy named Rocky Marciano? Well, Rocky Marciano.
Yeah, he threw a punch or two. He threw a punch or two in his life.
Yeah, he did. And he threw one of them here in 1954 at Yankee Stadium. They had 49,000. He fought Ezra Charles. And it was such a controversial fight because it was a split decision. Well, it was a unanimous decision, but they said that Ezra Charles had actually dominated the fight. They had a rematch 6 months later. This time they had Ross 49,000 people at Yankee Stadium, and he knocked Charles out in the first round.
How many of them were Italian, Chip? How many were Italian out of that 49,000?
I don't know. Most of the Bronx for sure.
Okay, go ahead.
But there was another fight that happened in 1988, and this one ended up being a loss for Mike Tyson as Robin Givens filed domestic abuse charges against him. So Tyson did get beat that day. And finally, this date, and what was it be now? 30 years ago today, Ross, we were all riveted to our TV sets as we watched the O.J. Simpson chasing the Bronco. That happened 30 years ago today, and I think we can all visualize it as if it was yesterday.
Yeah, it's one of those events that takes place in our society where everybody seems to remember where they were at that exact moment in time. Rocky Marciano, one of the best. Well, he retired undefeated.
Right.
Number one, really high percentage of knockouts. It's so much so that the American Medical Association gave him an anesthesiology degree. It's an anesthesia without the medication. They just said, "Come on in instead of the gas. Just punch this guy in the puss."
Well, he fought one more time. He fought one more time again at Yankee Stadium. He had 3 fights there, and he beat Archie Moore, and they had over 40,000 again. They tried it again with the next boxer that came. They had 17,000 at Yankee Stadium. So Marciano was the draw, like you said. All the Paisans in the Bronx went to Yankee Stadium. And but I think it was kind of interesting that his fight happened on this date, and Mike Tyson's fight also happened on this date.
And I would say the best competition they could have gave him at Yankee Stadium during that time, in a fight that never happened, was if he would have fought Billy Martin. Who happened to be right there at Yankee Stadium. All right, let's talk about the NBA playoffs, Chip. Tonight, Boston, look, they got annihilated. They got embarrassed in Game 4. And Dallas was able to stave off elimination. Now we get the guys like the talking heads like Charles Barkley, who now is predicting the Celtics will collapse and Dallas will win in 7. You know what they say about Charles Barkley's picks? What? Just go the other way.
Yeah.
Just go the other way, folks. No matter what he says, when it applies to sports betting, go the other way. And more times than not, I would say a lot more times than not, you'll be on the right side. But it doesn't matter what Charles Barkley thinks about this matchup. It matters what Mr. Chip Chirimbes thinks about this matchup. And right now, the Boston Celtics are a 6.5-point favorite. The total's 209.5. Where are you going with this one, Chip?
Well, you know, anytime a team gets beat by 40 points, I always look for them to rebound and come back. And so it was 38 points, but still, I think the Celtics, Ross, when they got down early in that game, in Game 4, it looked as if they all had decided, listen, let's not let anything crazy happen here. We'll go back home and take care of business there. Maybe they will. They have enough room here to win and not get over the number. 6.5 is a pretty big number, probably end up around 7. Kyrie Irving can do anything he wants when he wants to, but, you know, he hasn't played well in Boston, not one time since he's been jettisoned out of that club. Actually, he left on his own to go to Brooklyn at the time, I think it was. But I just see Boston as a team coming back with a really good effort here, trying to end this whole thing. I'm a little leery of a point spread that is this high in a playoff game because everyone should expect Dallas to come out and be desperate, right? And I'm just wondering if they have the character and the heart to come back and play another big game. They got out to a big lead in their game at home in Game 4, and that sort of just reinforces who they are. They're able to take that and use it and have a great time and really humiliate the Celtics. Well, this may be payback here. If I had to really make a bet on this game and not necessarily be a mega buck play, I would play the Boston Celtics. I just think that they've been the best team all year, Ross. And, you know, I kind of feel like Dallas, like we said, being such a low seed, put it together in the second half of the season. And there's got to be a little bit in my mind, and everyone else tells me no, that they were just like happy to be in the finals. And I don't know. You know, I think they were surprised they got that far, to tell the truth.
Yeah, I was one of those people who told you no.
Yeah.
And I gave you my reasons why. But yeah, it's, you know, the bottom line is that, you know, when you got two guys like Luka, who's never won an NBA championship, even though he's only 26 years old, it seems like he's been in the league forever, since he's been 18 anyway. And remember, this guy played in a lot of high-profile Euro championships overseas. He was playing pro when he was 13. He was playing in the Euro Championships at 16. And Kyrie Irving, who's been there, done that, and won it before with the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know, I just didn't think that those two players, from a leadership standpoint, would allow the rest of the team to have that mindset. Now, again, they can only do so much, right? You need help besides from those two players. They got it in Game 4. The question mark now becomes Game 5, going on the road against a Celtics team that will look to win a world championship at home. And they haven't won one since the early 2000s, I want to say. I mean, again, it's been a while. Yeah.
You know, you mentioned that Donica's 26. How old was Michael Jordan when he won his first one? I think he was 26, wasn't he? Because he played it 3 years, 4 years before they won a title. I think he played 5 years before they won a title.
Yeah, and he didn't come into the league as early as Don. Well, he did.
After his junior year. Yeah.
Was it after his junior year? I thought it was after his
sure.
freshman year, but you're right. So in any event, there you have it. Mr. Chirimbes, he likes Boston minus 6.5 over Dallas tonight. Do you have a Megabucks play in the NBA tonight?
No, not in Major League Baseball, but not in the baseball's been so great.
All right, we know that baseball's been on fire. Again, folks, 15-1. Not only tonight's Megabucks play for Chip Chirimbes, but buy his annual package. I mean, rest of the baseball season, $4.99 or is it $4.95? $4.99. Jim, shake your head, yes or no. I can't see it. So it's either $4.95 or $4.99, whatever it may be. It's if you divide that into how many days are left in the baseball season, it's now June 17th. You're looking at another 2 weeks in June, all of July, all of August, all of September. And then it also includes right through the playoffs and the World Series. You're talking 1, 2, 3, 4, over 4 months of action for Mr. Chirimbes. You divide that between 120 days at $4.99. You're talking a little over $4 a day, and not even $4 a day. So there you have it. You know, a little over $4 a day. That's what it comes to. So Chip Chirimbes over at gamblersworld.net. Folks, let me give you my play. And I'm going to be looking at the first half total in this game. And I'm going to go against what a lot of people are going to tell me, Ross, you know what? The first 4 games all went under the total and went under the total easily. And I just want to let you know, folks, you're not unlike me on anything. I do this every day. I'm fully aware of it. You know, as a matter of fact, I've cashed in the last 2 free picks with the unders for the game. Also, the first 4 games, the first half total all went under the total. But let's hear me out on this one. The first half total right now is 107.5, 107.5. Game 1, the game totals in game 1 was 217.5, game 2, 215, game 3, 214.5, and game 4, 211, and now it's down to 209.5. So we started out at 217.5. Progressively, it's come down each game based on perception, what the public has seen, and the low-scoring natures of all the games, to the point where they've made now an adjustment of 8 points between game 1 and game 5. All right, all 4 of those games, like I said, went under the total with a combined 202.5 points scored per game. Let's cast that aside. Also, the first half totals have gone under in all 4 games. But here's the thing. The first half totals have really remained pretty consistent between 105.5 and 108. There hasn't been a drastic change in the first half totals, despite the fact all 4 went under the total. And tonight it's 107.5, and that's a point higher than it was in the last game, which only produced 96 first half points. Boston's 10 home games this season, in the playoffs that is, have averaged 111 points per game in the first half. Boston has scored 57 points or more in the first half in 8 of 10 home playoff games this year. Okay? It's only the second time that Dallas has gone under the total in 4 straight games this year. And only the second time that Boston has gone under the total in 4 straight games this year. By the way, after going through that 4-game stretch where they went under the total in the first half, that is, Boston has only gone under the total in the first half. Let me clarify. 4 straight games this year. 1 time. And the last time that occurred was on January 6th. And in the following game, the Celtics were playing the Atlanta Hawks. So it was 127 points scored in the first half. Dallas, again, the same thing. 4 straight games of going under the total in the first half of the next game. 122 points were scored. So I'm going to go Dallas and Boston over the total of 107.5 in the first half. And the other part of this equation is quite simple. I've been going through this throughout the playoffs, and we've been quite successful in doing this. This is just through the postseason. Anytime you have 51% or greater of the first half total compared to the game total, in this particular instance, to make it quite simple, the first half total is 107.5. The game total is 209.5. That's 51.3% of the total number for the game is in the first half. That's 107.5 compared to 209.5. So if we cash in this over 107.5, here's what I recommend you do. After at halftime, I want you to play under the total for the game, a live bet at halftime. Why do I say that? Well, because there's a good chance if we score 108 points or more and we cash that, we're going to get somewhere around a total of 211.5 or greater for the game at that point. You're getting a better number, and then we go under the total. But we're only taking 50% of our winnings from the first half and placing it on that under bet at halftime. It assures you that you're going to end up with a winning day. Lastly, I hate to even bring this up, but it's reality. If we lose that first half bet, leave it alone. Don't do anything in the second half. Don't make a halftime wager. Don't chase losing money. Just leave it alone. Move on. Lick your wounds. Move on to the next day. So there you have it. Chip Chirimbes likes the Boston Celtics -6.5. Ross Benjamin likes the Dallas-Boston first half total to go over the number of 107.5. Chipper, any thoughts?
No, I'm just sad to see that the NBA season's winding down. It's June 17th, and that's deep into, right?
Yeah.
And basketball is gone, but baseball, boy, it's thriving. It's riding along, and I'm feeling great about it right now.
So you don't have any comments in terms of all those calculations I just put forth? We lost Chip. Okay. In any event, there you have it, folks. Chip's sad to see the NBA season coming to a close. It may come to a close tonight. It may not. Right. But in any event, the best we're going to see is another 3 games in this series. I don't think it'll get that far, but we'll see. And I'm certainly going to be sad because I'm 117-73 since 2022 in the NBA playoffs. So, and having a terrific NBA playoff run this year as well. So for Chip Chirimbes and Ross Benjamin, don't forget to give us a like. Just a small token of your appreciation for the time, work, and effort that we put into bringing you a quality podcast right here on the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Channel each and every day. It goes a long way in keeping our owners happy. It goes a long way in you showing your small token of appreciation for the time, work, and effort we put in. And it goes a long way in keeping these videos free. Everybody likes free. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, folks. If you haven't done so already, I don't know what you're waiting for. There's a subscribe button right underneath. Click that subscribe button. If you're on your PC, same thing. There's a WC logo in the bottom right-hand corner. That'll serve the same purpose. And just click on that, and you're all set to go. And then take one step further. Go into your YouTube settings and click on the alert notification bell for the Winner's Circle Sports Betting Channel, and you'll be notified immediately upon any of our future podcasts going up on our great channel. Till the next time, for Chip Chirimbes and Ross Benjamin, take care and God bless, folks.